was a time when the hot hatch was decidedly unpremium. The Volkswagen Golf GTI, the Peugeot 205 GTI, the Honda Civic Type R. These weren't fancy namby-pamby designer cars, they were good old salt-of-the-earth performance cars of the people. But then, some of the premium manufacturers realised that people really liked hot hatches, and they thought, we'll have some of that. And so, along came cars like the Audi S3 and RS3 and the Mercedes-A45 AMG. The last A45 AMG was a bit of a monster and came second in our hot hatch mega test a couple of years ago, linked down below. And there's a new one coming in 2019. But if you can't wait, maybe we can tempt you with this. This is the Mercedes-AMG A35, and as the name suggests, it's not quite as hardcore as the A45. It's about 10 less hardcore, in fact, but still quite hardcore. It's still got lots of go faster bits, and if you opt for the optional AMG style pack, you'll get big 19-inch wheels, a big rear wing, and a big race car-like front splitter. But even without these bits and bobs, it's still lower and meaner looking than the standard A-Class. It's a rival to cars like the Audi S3 Sportback, the BMW M140i and the Volkswagen Golf R, and aims to offer an entry into the world of AMG to an increasingly younger audience. Inside you get all the best toys from the standard A-Class, which means this big ol' eye-catching screen and the latest MBUX infotainment system, which you can talk to. Hey Mercedes.
How can I help you?
Tell me a joke.
Sorry, my engineers were Germans.
Build quality is 95% great, but there are a few little bits that feel rather cheap. I'm looking at you, indicator stalks. Practicality-wise, it's the same as the standard A-Class, which means decent space for 5 if you want to get cosy, plenty of cubby holes and pockets, and a boot that's pretty standard in size for the class. The A35 has been developed alongside the A45 and shares a lot of the same components, which bodes well. Under the bonnet is a 2-litre turbocharged engine with 306 horsepower, powering all 4 wheels through a 7-speed automatic gearbox. That means a 0 to 62 mph sprint in 4.7 seconds, which is fast in anybody's book. It's not just all about grunt though, there's been a lot of work on the body to try and improve the handling over the standard A-Class. The body has been braced and stiffened, and this test car has got the optional adaptive damper settings, which you can set to 3 different stiffnesses using this twiddly knob in the center console. This also affects throttle response, steering rate and shift speed, as well as how much power goes to the rear wheels. So what does all this mean? Well, it means that this is a very capable machine that can go around corners very quickly. The grip on these roads in Mallorca is really impressive, and the 4-wheel drive system, which has lots of clever features, means the traction is excellent both through and out of the corners. It's a car that flatters the driver, staying calm and composed and adjustable at the limit. The steering is really well weighted, and in sportier modes the exhaust pops and bangs to give you that AMG feeling. When you're not hammering along in Sport or Sport Plus mode, it still does a very reasonable impression of a normal 4-door hatchback. It's got a taut ride that still keeps you well insulated from the worst of the outside world. I should mention that we've only tried cars with the adaptive suspension, which is a cost option, albeit not a very expensive one. In fact, quite a lot of the sexier features you get on this car are options, which will bump up the price quite a bit. Capable and enjoyable as the A35 is, there is some debate to be had as to whether it's as engaging as something like Volkswagen's Golf R, and it's certainly not as bonkers as the Honda Civic Type R. But then again, it's a Mercedes, so it does need to maintain a certain level of decorum. To accurately measure it against these rivals, we'd want to drive them back to back, but taken in isolation, the A35 is a technically impressive and exhilarating car that you can have a lot of fun in. It's also got us very excited for the arrival of the A45 next year. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below, let us know what you think of the A35. And while you're here, why not subscribe to the Autotrader YouTube channel, which is absolutely free, and we've got loads of great content to help you find your next car.